Welcome back to the Working Class Bug YouTube channel. My name is Ted. Today we're going to replace a windshield on this old 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle Cabriolet. As you can see, the windshield is in not real good shape. I don't know if you can really see over there, but there's some rock chips and cracks and it's broken and it needs replaced. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start out by taking out the old one and see if we can get that out. This gasket in this thing is older than me, so it's bound to be very crispy and hard to take out. Let's see. And there you can see that it is very broken. And the inspection expired in September of 2000. So this thing was off the road for a little bit. Now the easiest way to get these out, I've worked on a little bit here, but the gasket here, you have to pry it over and over top of the lip that's in the steel part of the windshield frame. So this has got to get pried down and over. This is the original gasket, and the original ones had a little piece of metal in here to reinforce them. The new ones do not. But to get the old one out, unless you just want to cut it out, you have to pry this out and over and slowly pop the windshield out, which is what I plan to do. So that's where we're at with that. If the phone would focus. There we go. Look at that. So got to pull that out and we'll see what we got. Because this thing is so hard to get out, the gasket is so old and just dried out, I've decided to try to cut it out because definitely not going to reuse it. So you can see I've cut a little bit of it here already. And trusty razor knife here. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, try not to make a trip to the emergency room here. Just cut right inside, right along where that lip is. Should have some luck here. Just got to be patient. There we go. That'll get a bite of it. Ouch. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Already got a little flexibility there where it's starting to come out. Come around to your side. This winter time, I got everything crammed in here, so there's not much room to move around. Like that metal in there, it's hard to cut around. All right. Cut on that a little bit more, I guess. But you can see what I'm up to, pretty much. And you can see here, I don't know if you can actually see it, but more of those metal clips that go all the way around and hold the gasket in place. So, work on this a little bit more and I'll get back to you. I have most of it cut away, and the windshield feels a little loose now. A little loosey-goosey. I should be able to work it out here, hopefully, without it exploding. Ooh, maybe. Oh, it's that metal. Come on, don't explode. Don't explode. Should be able to pull it up out of the bottom. Pry on the bottom just a little bit and see if it'll come up. I'd say this whole rubber is very stuck. You're going to explode, aren't you? I don't want to clean up glass. Yep, you're going to blow up. I can tell. Yeah, maybe I'll try to pry from the other side. Come on. You can let go. It's okay. I swear it's okay. It's okay. Come on with it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Gasket's just stuck. Put it off of there. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Oh, there we go. How about it? Ooh. Some rusty rust in there to fix. All right. There you have it, folks. I deleted one windshield. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Yeah, to fix some rusty rust. Oh. With the outside temperatures being the single digits all week, rusty rust repair might have to wait. I'll find my screwdriver here. See how deep this really is. This is a pretty common spot for the rust. This car is no stranger to. I think in its early years, it spent quite a bit of time outside. I don't think it got the kind of. I don't think anybody ever really had it in the salt or drove it in the winter much. But that feels pretty solid. I don't know where all that rust really would have came from. That does feel pretty solid. Not through anywhere, but I'll clean it up there the best I can and treat it, and we'll be good with that, I hope. All right, guys, it's been a couple weeks. There's been a lot of stuff going on here, but we're back on this. And as you can see, last time we were here, I took the windshield out, and I got a little bit of rust to contend with here in the bottom corners of the windshield frame. So what I'm going to do is get the vacuum cleaner out here and kind of scale out what I got and suck it up. And then we'll go from there. I will try to treat that. You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little under the weather with a cold. Good springtime cold. Most of this looks pretty superficial. It's not that bad. I should be able to sand that down a little bit, put a little bit of rust inhibitor on it, and that should be good. That side right there is a little bit worse than the other. And I think if I pick at that a little bit, and like I say, if I treat it, it should be fine. We'll hit it with a little bit of this good old Napa rust treatment. So that will help. Put this down here so I don't get it everywhere, but I probably still will. That's all right. And that smells lovely. Can't remember what this crap is made of. I know you can make your own concoction at home. Vinegar and jujubes or some crap, I don't know. There's that. We'll let that dry, and then I will smear a little bit of paint on it later. Here we have our new parts. We have a piece of the stainless or the aluminum trim that goes around the windshield for the original look. We have the actual windshield glass, the laminated glass, and we have a seal. So what I'm going to try to do in here is get the glass out here and get these three things put together because they're easier to get in the car when they're all assembled first. So let me set you up here and we'll get started. All right, we're hanging out in my dining room because it is West Virginia and it is winter time. We're about to have the snowmageddon out there, according to all the Facebook weathermen. So the garage is not heated unless I put a heater in it. So it's easier to do stuff like this in the warm anyway, where this rubber is room temperature instead of super cold. It's easier to handle and manipulate around this glass. Now, if you've never done this before, windshield glass is what they call laminated glass, which is two thin sheets of glass sandwiched between like a really thin sheet of plastic. That way, it's all glued together. That's why they call it laminated. So if you do have a crash or the window gets broken, it all kind of stays together in one piece. So there's not like flying shards of glass everywhere, which you don't want. You don't want a big flying shard of glass in your face. So the other windows in most cars are what they call tempered. They're heat treated. And I've seen the videos of, like the police breaking your side glass in your car and it just exploding into little bitty cubes. Well, that's how laminated glass does. Or not laminated, that's how tempered glass does. And you want that in some glass like that, again, so it doesn't like break apart in sharp, pointy shards to go through you when you have a crash. So you have to be really careful with these, especially these Volkswagen windshields, because they are thin and it doesn't take a whole lot of flex. And you can have a crack in it. And if you have a crack in this, these Volkswagen windshields used to be pretty cheap. You could get one for, I don't know, $60, $70 back in the day. Not so much the case now. This was $200. I think this came from J-Bugs. And there's not really a whole lot of places you can get these nowadays. So yes, they are expensive. So you want to do your best to not crack it. Like I say, it doesn't take a whole lot of force to mess these up. You definitely don't want to mess it up. So anyway, I'm going to lay it out here flat. Another piece of tape here to take off. Now this is the gasket snake you get to wrestle to get on here. Make sure you're in the frame, yes. A lot of people do these a lot of different ways. For this part, again, I want the gasket to be warm so you can easily manipulate it. You want to be looking at the windshield from the top. And I think this is going to be the outside because it has the brand here. So I probably want to flip the glass over where I'm working on the inside. Well, let me try it here and see what I get. Need to find the seam on this gasket. There's going to be like a little mold seam. And you want that to be in the center of the bottom of the window. And that looks like it right there. And I don't really know the real reason for that. I mean, the reasons that I know are because the mold seam, it can split If you have a split in your gasket, you want it to be in the lowest part of the window. So that way if you have a leak, it doesn't really leak anywhere. But you can just kind of spread that out a little bit and work it in there. This is easier if you have more people. I don't have more people. I have to do this stuff usually by myself. And a little bit of tape sometimes helps too along the way. I had some tape. Since you don't have a lot of fingers helping you, sometimes a little bit of tape goes a long way to help you get started. Now there's different grooves in this gasket, and they go in different places. The biggest, squarest looking groove is for the glass, and you want your little thin strip. I know you probably can't see. I'll have to get the camera closer for you to see. That's going to go around the edge of the outer part of the windshield. And some people take, like silicone spray or whatever doing this part. I don't really like to do the silicone on this part. Now you really want it when you put this all in the car, because that's going to be the challenging part. And it's where you're going to have a lot of torque, a lot of pressure on this thing in different directions. And you'll want as much lube as you can get. But for this part, I usually don't lubricate anything. Then you get it all over your hands, and then you're wrestling this thing. Like I say, it's not the easiest to mess with anyway. All right. Be nice. Be nice. Let's see here if I can, like I say, these things are hard to wrestle with. To begin with. But you get the idea. You just kind of got to slowly work it in here. Some guys can do this really fast. I like to try to take my time and make sure it's actually going in the channel. If you don't have it in very well, you'll know at the end, you'll have to stretch it. You'll know it's not in there. These things, this glass is a lot thinner than you would think. Don't really want to put a lot of pressure on it. There you go. Slowly work your way around. Now, a lot of guys or girls, I'm not saying that girls can't do this. Yeah, they wait till the last part to try to put the metal trim on. Well, you can't after you've got it in the windshield. I mean, you can, I guess, but it'd probably be pretty hard because, say, once you've got this thing in the window frame, it squeezes the gasket pretty hard, and that's what holds in the middle part of the trim. Okay, well, you generally get the idea. I'll speed this up a little bit for you. Let me give you a closer look before I speed it up. See, this is the groove where the window goes. This channel here. This little channel is where the trim will go. And this thinner part of the gasket right here will go around the middle part of the frame of the window. So like I say, you just want to work the window into this little channel here a little bit at a time. Just take your time and do it. Well, I wrestled that on there pretty close to being all the way on there. I've got me some roll of masking tape, and I'm going to try to get it on there a little bit better, make sure it's in the channel all the way around. And I'll let it sit like this for a few days before I actually try to put the window in. So the gasket kind of takes shape of the window. That way it's a little easier to wrestle on the day that I actually install it. Makes it a little easier. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Number one, how in the world is your wife allowing you to work on your dining room table on a car? Well, it's because she's not here. And if she watches this video, I'll know because she says she actually watches my videos. So we'll find out. And number two, how you going to get this trim on there if you got all that tape on there? Well, I hear what you're saying. And I'm not going to put this trim on until, until I'm ready to put the windshield in the car. And then I will try to wiggle the trim into the groove. I'll let this sit for a day or two like this, so the rubber, can actually take shape of the windshield, and the best it's going to anyway. And after that, I will, like I say, a day or two like this. Then I'll take the tape off, and then I'll work on getting this trim in. And I'll bring you back tomorrow or the next day when I actually do that. We are back. It's been a few days. We'll try to get this trim around the windshield and the seal here. And as you can tell, it's not exactly the right shape. You got to kind of massage it just a little bit to make the right shape. But you have to be careful because this stuff will crack and split. And you definitely don't want that. So what you want to do again is start at the little seam of the rubber here and start working it in and work your way around. It's not real easy to get in. It's better if you have like a plastic, some little plastic tools or something. I've got a little pocket knife. I mean, it's steel, but if you're careful, you won't mess up anything. So let me bring you in here a little closer where you can see. See what I'm doing? See the trim is kind of like a C-channel shape. I'll be able to show you that or not, but it's kind of in a C-channel. And it's a little tough to work in there. You just have to kind of work it in this, bend this down and spread it. You can work it in the groove and just work your way around till you get to where you're going, to the end. And then of course the same with the other end. And there's these little pieces that go over the top of the two to join them together when you have both of them in. So set you up here and we'll see if I can get started. Maybe? Yeah, there you go. So of course, while you have the whole thing in your hand, it's easy to start it. Now, this part you can use a little bit of silicone lube or something to help it if you're having problems getting it in there. So it's not entirely necessary. Like I said, you can take a little pocket knife or a little screwdriver and work your way around to help work the gasket in. Chair a little closer, maybe you can see what I'm doing. Put you over here. get out ahead of it a little bit and just pull the rubber back with the knife and then give it a push. And you might have to go from the bottom as well. And this is why it's much easier to do this, before you try to put the windshield in the car, because the outer frame of the windshield frame pushes this gasket up when the windshield goes in, and that's what sort of traps this trim in place. So you have to do it before you put the windshield in. I mean, I guess you could try. I've never tried to take it in or out when the windshield's already in. I guess it's possible. I don't think that's something that I would want to try. But you get the idea. I'll speed it up here so you don't have to watch me struggle. All right, you can tell I had to take a little bit of silicone spray to kind of help get that in there, a little bit of tire foam or anything like that with some silicone in it. We'll make that slick enough to where the trim will drop right into the groove. And when I got up here to the top, with the help of the silicone, I was really able to get it squeezed in there pretty easy. So the form of it will take a lot better. Just let it sit here for, like I said, a day or two again, probably. And that way it'll be ready to go in the car, after everything's settled down a little bit. I'll go ahead and get this other side squeezed in here, and we'll be right back to you. The last little piece are these little end caps that go over the end here to cover up the gap. And they're pretty easy to pop on there, and they just kind of snap in place. And if you take the ends with see, there's one end here that has a little leg on it. Kind of squeeze that in underneath. Maybe. Yeah, I did the other one and it popped right on. Now this one's going to make a fool of me. There's that side. And there's that side. So you got the little leg on there, and then you can just push it over and it'll pop right into place. That's it, people. That is the whole trim around. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and put some more tape on it to hold it in place, and maybe here in the next day or two we'll actually put it in the car. We are back once again. I have done a few things off camera. It has been quite a while. I was very sick for several weeks and had some other things go on, so got a little delay here, but that's all right. We're back at it. See here, like I say, off camera, I did a little rattle can paint. Yeah, after I treated all that, and got all that treated over there too on that corner. So we should be good as far as rust goes. Got our new windshield laying here, face down. Yeah, of course we saw a video of the putting the gasket on, and just to let you know, I think that was over like right after Christmas. So this has drug on a little while. Now what I'm going to do is put a little piece of rope in here. Everybody's seen the trick. You feed a piece of rope into the channel. Put the windshield in, pull the rope out while you're pushing. That's pretty much what we're going to do. But putting the rope in here can be a little bit of a pain. I mean, I've learned a trick that you can use an ink pen. Take the guts out of the ink pen and feed your little string through the ink pen. Whoa, look at that. And let it come out. Then you can use the ink pen to guide through the channel. Of course, be very careful doing what I'm doing here because this windshield's still covered in slick goo and it might take off right off the car with you, and you don't want that because it will break. But if you can see here, I'm pretty sure you can see. I'm not looking at the camera to see. But if you hold the one end of the string here right at the center of the channel, then use the pin to go around as it's stuck in there, and the string will get sucked right up into the windshield channel until you're standing on the string, and then it won't go anymore. So it's not a good thing. Let's get some string out of here. Stay. All right, anyway. Let's get that pulled back up. Start again. And now my neighbor decides to use a chainsaw. So you might get to hear that. The hood of a Beetle is probably not the best workbench. Crap. But it'll have to do for what I'm doing. Maybe I should have fast forwarded that for you. That would have been the smart thing to do. And I can still tell I'm going to have to fight this aftermarket seal to get it in the windshield. Oh crap. You get the idea. Let me finish this, I'll go around, and I'll be right back. Now that you got the string in there, you need lots and lots and lots of lubey stuff to make this work. And like I say, some of these seals are made better than others. The cowlook seals are easier to put on because you don't have to deal with the The aluminum trim that goes on the front, that's usually a pain. It's really a good idea if you have a friend to help you with this. I don't have any friends today, so this may not go very well. We're going to try. So anyway, very liberal with lube. I like to use like Tire Shine, anything with like really good silicone in it helps. You need to spray the gasket really well and the channel. You're going to get this crap everywhere, but you know, it usually cleans up pretty good. All right, like I was saying, lots of lubes. More the better. Any kind of silicone-based stuff. Make this go a whole lot easier. And like I say, this crap will be everywhere. I'll have slippery butt for a while. It's well worth it. Doesn't really hurt anything. Lots of lubrize. Okay, well, here's the part where having a friend really helps. Because this thing is very slippery now. And you got to get it kind of set into the windshield channel without breaking it. Jeez, I hope that didn't. You really should take the windshield wipers off. Yeah. That'd be a great idea. All right. Kind of get it set in there. Sort of the way it goes. And pray to God that it doesn't fall out while you're getting things set up here. Because, like I said before, it's difficult to wrestle. Yep. It's very difficult to wrestle with slick hands. Let's see what we got there. All right, let me go to the other side. And some people do wear gloves to do this. It's probably not a bad idea. And of course, that's popping out, and that can't pop out because if it does, you're in trouble. Yep. I'm going to have to make some adjustments to that. So let me bring you back when I've got the trim put back and the window channel back in good. Be right back. Things have escalated. I've never tried to put one on with the window trim. Apparently that's a pain in the butt. I've always used the cowl look because back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s when I've done these before, that was the way you wanted. So I've eliminated the window trim. And we're going to try again, as they say. Squeeze this sucker in there. Say this windshield is aftermarket. Seal is aftermarket. You can't get these from Volkswagen anymore. So will it fit? Probably not. No, let me change that. It will probably fit. Will it fit right? No. Maybe. But probably not. So does not want to stay in the channel. It's going to take a lot of wiggling. If you don't know, that is redneck 4. It might work, it might not. It's right over here. I can see I'm going to have problems. The bottom is in the channel. That's going to be a problem. Go in that side. Maybe if I get a side in first, it'll be more helpful. Do some more squeezing. I'm working. Let's see. Squeezed it there, it pops out there. Scheiße. Anyway, let's see if we're even on the money here at all. As far as this goes. Sort of. Push down from the top. This can be done by one person. It's not easy. Pull your string and get the lip of the gasket out. Should probably be watching from in here, not out there. I'm sorry. But pretty much what I've done is pull the string until the lip of the gasket goes out and around the lip of the windshield frame. That does not feel right for some reason. It does seem to be working a little bit. If it doesn't work, you get to do it all over again. That's great. That's me being facetious. Son of a mother. Fill in the blank, fill in the blank. Don't move. And the parts you missed that doesn't quite come in, you can take a little dental pick and pull them around. Sometimes that works. And I know as soon as I do this, maybe not. See if it pop out of the bottom, but maybe not. Yeah, see, I've already made the string come out of the lip. So we'll have to fix the spot already. That's not working. Yep, I'll have to start over probably. Maybe not. It stays in the lip. Come around after and get this bottom lip out, but sometimes it's helpful to get it out now, especially in the corners. See if I can get anywhere in the corner here. Yes, no, maybe. Because all it's doing is pulling the string through. Yep, I knew that would happen. Because I don't have a person helping me. So. I hadn't said it before, this is best done with a buddy. Yep, I'll start all over. It did not. It popped out of the bottom seat. It's not going to go back in. So let me restring it again and try again. I am still wrestling. So I've managed to get the bottom channel in. I've got this side in. Need to get that side in better. And then I should be able to just squeeze the top in, and that should be that as far as getting the glass in place. So it's kind of hard to see the detail of what I'm doing. I apologize. But really need to have some strong hands to do this crap. Especially doing it the way that I'm failing to do it. I think this aftermarket gasket is not treating me the best. It's a little too fat, I think, for this, but like I say, it's aftermarket. I like that for a reason. I've had to take a dental pick to go through a lot of this because either I've missed the rope in places or it's slipped out on me while I'm doing other parts, which is why you need a friend. That's great. Well, I just broke that dental pick. Let's see if I can fix into that. Of course not. It just breaks again. Maybe I'll make a little hook out of it and it'll work better. Probably not. We'll try. Yeah, that looks like crap. But if you work your way through, can manage to get it pulled up in here. Little by little. So you see the guys on YouTube, they just throw the glass on there, pull the string, and boom, they walk away. It's done. I don't think that's reality. Not even close. It's reality. Is this windshield the right size? Aftermarket crap? Probably not. It's made in the China land, I think. So, is it right? Probably not. Is it going to bust before I get it in there? Probably. Hopefully not. I'm pretty far along with it. I think we're past the point to where it would crack, but I could be wrong. If you want to find out, it was very expensive. But probably just looking at the back of my head, and I apologize. This will not be one of my best videos. That's okay. YouTube's supposed to be reality TV. This is reality. Replacing the windshield on a Beetle sucks, especially a Super Beetle. I'm getting there, 1 millimeter at a time. One at a time. One piece at a time. All right, again, you're getting the idea. I'll come back when I'm about to do the top, I guess, because it's going to take me a while to get around the corners because that's where the pressure is, and I'm old and got arthritis, so that's that. We're making a little bit of progress. I can quit sweating. Takes a little bit of a push and a wiggle. And slowly getting in there. Very slowly. This is the part where I don't want to push too hard. Don't want the glass to break. So we're kind of at a critical place. You do the back and forth wiggle wiggle. Sometimes that helps. Can't really see what I'm doing. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, yeah. Please don't crack. I think we're in the home stretch now. Just a matter of giving a little push. Find my pick again. My string went farther than the gasket. Be careful doing this because you can poke holes in the gaskets. You don't want holes in it, especially if you're planning to drive this in the rain, which I really don't, but you never know. Come on. Like I said, the corners are the toughest part. They always are. Like I say, I think I'm getting pretty close here. Get this corner in. Come on. Oh, yeah. Definitely getting there. Definitely getting there. Get past the string without breaking it. All right, now maybe I can work on it from the other side. Reel it right in. Hope. And that's where we're getting tight. Tight, tight, tight. Yep. Work on that a little bit more. Let's get this outer trim down where it'll fit under. Oh yeah, it's really tight. It's probably what's keeping it from going the last little bit. This requires a lot of patience, if you hadn't been able to tell. A lot of patience. So this is going to be a cowl look one, whether I wanted it to be or not. Because I might be able to get the metal trim in there, but I doubt it after I've already had the windshield in. It's a big maybe. Very big maybe. Let's get past the string, I'll be happy. Come on. It's really caught in there. I've got the string tied off on the other side. Oh, we're out of the channel there, that's why. Oh, that's not good. Work on this some more and I'll be right back. Okay, of course the neighbor has the lawnmower going now, but we'll do what we gotta do here. As you can see, I'll give you a little close up here. This is really what I'm doing. Pulling the string, and the gasket goes from the back of the lip, if you can really tell, to the front of the lip, and it retains the windshield in, kind of locks it in when you get the gasket to kind of flip back into that little channel. You're going to be pushing from the outside. I'll push from the outside, you can see it go down a little bit, and as I pull the string will meet the other string, and the whole gasket will be in. All right, we are back in business. Might have been some cussing, a lot of wiggling, and my hands will be sore. But we're in there. Like I say, it's just going to have to be a cow look because I don't feel like wrestling with that aftermarket trim that doesn't fit. And that's just too bad. So this is just a driver car anyway. It's not like I'm doing a restoration. But you can see that the seal is in. It looks good. I need to clean the windshield. Put all the parts back on and go for a ride. Thanks for hanging out.